Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Carly. I usually post weekly vlog videos and don't really do anything else. I've wanted to kind of do a video on, I guess, my fitness journey for a while now, so here I am. One thing I often get asked is, how did I get into fitness? Where did my journey start? I've always been into it. The answer is no. And I guess I just wanted to kind of talk through what my journey to date has been so far. So yeah, where do I start? I've got some notes just to keep me on track because there's a lot that's happened, okay guys, like I've done a lot of different things. So I guess the kind of background to it is, before I really started training, which was in 2013, I was one of these people who really struggled to get to the gym, enjoy the gym, or really have a clue what I was doing. I was doing the occasional power hoop class, which is basically like a hula hoop class. I'd go to the gym a handful of times throughout the year, like a handful of times. I didn't have a stable diet, I smoked too much, I drank too much. I'd get a doubler for my breakfast every morning, which is like a roll and square sausage. So a roll and sausage and potato scone and sometimes cheese and onion, but still. I would have pakora for a snack. I'd come home and eat bread and butter. So I really like exercise, and fitness was nowhere on my radar. And I think that was because when I was growing up I always had horses, so that was kind of my exercise. Oh, itchy. That was my exercise, I guess, outlet. And I became really complacent because I thought, I do horse riding, it's cool, I'm fit, I can eat as much as I want because I'll burn it off, whatever. And that wasn't really the case. I stopped horse riding probably when I was about 20, 21, and that's probably when I really started to put on my weight, because that exercise that came out, I was just drinking all the time. Anyway, I was happy, I think I might have been in a bit of denial about, I guess, being unhealthy, and then it probably wasn't until 2012 I started to try different things. So I did things like, what was it called? It wasn't the Atkins diet, but it was the Dukan diet, and that's basically you could eat as much protein as you wanted. Not healthy at all. I tried different things, fad diets, never worked, end up binging, end up heavier than I was before, compared to all before, like blah 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 blah. So then it came to probably Christmas 2012 when I was out with my work, and I will never forget it. We were talking to like older guys that were friends with guys from work. I mean, I'm talking like mid-50s or something, and I would have been, what would I mean at the time? Like 24, 25? Oh my god, that's depressing. And I'll never forget one of them saying to me, "You look like you enjoy your food." One, that's obviously a very horrible thing to say. Body shaming is not cool. But two, that, like, I was distraught. I remember crying, I was so upset. I just felt like disgusting. So that was kind of like, I think, my key changing point, where I thought, right, time to sort my life out. I had Mexico booked in April 2013, so I was determined to look like at least lose a stone, because I wanted to go wear a bikini and feel comfortable. So I cracked on, and I went to Twitter for a personal trainer and got recommended to a personal trainer by my future husband, which I didn't know at the time. So I was put in touch with a personal trainer and started doing that once a week. It was okay, like I enjoyed it. I started to lose weight, but when the weight started to really come off was when probably I started to do circuit classes. So I would do circuit classes, like I'm talking 4 or 5 times a week, as well as my PT session, and I was loving it. And what I have to explain to people is, what you find is, you go from the gym and exercising being a chore, so you're forcing yourself to do it, you hate it, and then all of a sudden it just switches and it becomes something that you love. And I was kind of at that probably when I was doing circuits. I really enjoyed it, I was good at it, I was strong, so yeah, I was starting to really enjoy it. So, cool. Life is good. So I did that probably for the majority of 2013, and I'll put in a before and after picture here. So that's January when I started, and then that is, I think, probably about May, June time, hence the tan, because I was just back from Mexico. And I'd lost, I think, about 1.5 stone by that after. But I was really skinny, so that was fine. got into late 2013 and then I decided that I didn't want to keep doing cardio based stuff because I was conscious that I would lose too much weight. So that's kind of when I was like, right, I'm going to venture to the unknown free weight area because that's what I need to be doing. And what I found that I was doing was I was going on to bodybuilding.com and just searching workouts. So it'd be like, right, I'm going to train legs today, right, quickly going, right, got a leg day workout, and I would go and do that having no idea what I was doing. But it felt good and it felt like the right thing to do as opposed to just continuing to do exercise. It's important to say at this point probably that my weight loss up till now had purely been probably down to exercise. I didn't have, like, the personal trainers didn't give me a meal plan or anything. I was kind of just eating what I thought I should. So I was having like brown toast and protein in the morning. Like, when I say protein it was bacon, okay, whatever. I still was of this kind of mindset that protein was good, carbs were bad. So I'd have mostly like really fatty proteins and stuff, and then at night time, like, I'd find me and Stephen, because at this point we were together, eating like whole chickens each, making omelettes. Like, it was all really protein based, kind of stayed away from carbs. So I kind of continued to do my weight training and stuff, and that was really good. I didn't have any goal in mind, just wanted to keep going to the gym. And then kind of what happened was Stephen and I split up. So this must have been this is kind of later part of 2014. So we stopped going to circuits and we were just going to the gym, and then we split up kind of October 2014. And at that point I was like, right, revenge body, I'm gonna go get shredded. So I'd seen girls who competed in bikini and thought, oh my god, they look amazing, but oh, a bodybuilding show, that is pure cringe. So I kind of was like, right, I want to look like that, but I do not want to go on stage because that is like, that's so cringe. So I went to a coach based at a gym in Ayrshire, and we kind of started training and stuff and came up with a plan to kind of get shredded. But what I found was that, like, what was the point in putting myself through getting ready for a show and not competing? So at that point, that's when I kind of decided that I would do a show in May the next year. I had no idea what class I would be in. Like, people were saying different things like toned figure and bikini, and I was like, I do not know what you're talking about. Like, what's the difference? And at this point I was relatively lean. I was probably like skinny fat, so I was small but I had like fat. So I'll put in a picture here. So that's kind of, I think that's probably November, December 2014. Then I decided to change coach, probably in January 2015, because I felt like I probably wasn't getting what I needed from that coach, and also the fact that Stephen was going to this gym, and at that time that was awkward. So I got a new coach who was based in Australia, so it was online, but I'd seen that he had prepped people before who had got results, so I thought, right, okay. And I like to go with people that nobody else kind of is with, if that makes sense. I'll maybe come on to that later. So I started with my new coach and was enjoying it. There was no cheat meals, which is good, because if I get a cheat meal every week, I find it harder to then step away from that when I need to. So I was just getting them as and when I needed. At this point, I still had no idea what I was doing or what was right and what was wrong and what I should expect. So I was just following a plan. I mean, I was telling people I was in prep. I didn't even know what prep was. I didn't realise it was the phase of dieting, and like all that kind of stuff was so new to me. So yeah, was kind of in prep for I don't know how long, probably from like February or something until a competition in May. So I'll insert picture here. So that was my first competition. You can see I was very purple and very brown. I placed top 3, so I got 3rd place, which I was like ecstatic with. I remember crying behind the stage when I found out I was going to do my T-walk. I was just like absolutely elated. I was so happy. So I qualified for the British finals for UK BFF, and that was fine. So I guess after the show was when I probably what you would call rebound. So I ate everything. I mean, I was obsessed with food throughout my whole prep. Like, I would just sit and look at it, smell it. At some points I was eating stuff and spitting it out. I had the most horrific carb cravings ever. Like, it was making me crazy. So it was when I kind of started to reflect on that prep, and probably having gone through a more recent prep, that I realised that they were kind of key things that were not right. In that prep I also lost my period for like, I don't know, 6 or 7 months, but at that time I was told that that's kind of what to expect. Other girls were losing their periods, so I was like, alright, cool, I'm doing it right. Yeah, I'm doing it right, because my body's starting to malfunction, so yeah, I'm on track. At the time I didn't realise how wrong that actually was, so that was fine. And then I kind of came out of that show and I ate lots. I think I put on like a stone in 2 days or something, which of course would have predominantly been water, but I just started to eat a lot. Like, I was obsessed. It was hard because I had qualified for British finals, and at that point I was planning to do them, which was in October. But what I found was that it was harder to kind of get back into a diet, and when I did get back into the diet, I was like, nothing was changing. Like, my body was just like, no girl, I want the food. So I made a decision, I think in July that year, just to not compete and just to focus on a good off season. So maybe I should do like a separate video on this, but so in 2015 Stephen and I got back together briefly. We split up again, and then we got back together again in September 2015. Yeah, September 2015. Yeah. So I was just enjoying life. I didn't really have a plan. I was kind of using old plans. I was still going to the gym and stuff, but didn't really know what I was doing. And then I got a new job in the kind of February of 2016. Stephen and I broke up again, and then I was just really enjoying kind of time on my own. So I was going out with the girls, I went on holiday to Ibiza. I was still kind of going to the gym, and for a short time I had a coach who kind of helped me get ready for Ibiza. Came back from Ibiza, and then, drum roll, Stephen and I got back together. So we got back together in September, and at that point I kind of parted ways with my coach at the time, just because it wasn't my focus. I was just going to enjoy being back with Stephen, then got engaged, and I think at that point I took a break from training altogether, and just wasn't going to the gym. And at that point that was the right thing to do, because it wasn't a priority in my life. I was just enjoying spending time with Stephen, doing different things, enjoying different experiences. We went to Rome for his birthday, etc. So I was kind of, yeah, I stepped away from it. I wasn't into it. Then, probably in February, March time, no, when was Paul's first competition? We'll say April, right? I think it was April. In April 2017, Stephen's sister, Paula, was competing. So we were going to the shows with her. I was doing her makeup for her, like getting her all ready, helping her with her routine. And when it came to show day and seeing Paula do so well, that's kind of, I was like, I need to be on stage. Like, get me on stage. And that's kind of where I was like, right, I'm ready to focus on something and get it done. So I kind of looked about different coaches and stuff, and did a bit of research into who I wanted to kind of go with. I like to go with coaches that aren't with anybody else, because I don't know, like, I don't like the idea of people I guess having an inside knowledge of how my training is going, my progress. I didn't want to be sharing the stage with people I'd potentially be in the same team as, and I just kind of like to go and find somebody kind of on the peripheral, I don't know if that's the right word. So I'd seen Rosie Hart, who is an IFBB pro. She had prepped a girl called Brittany down south, who had done really well in toned figure. I loved her look. I'd asked her how she kind of got on with Rosie and stuff, and that's kind of when I decided to approach Rosie, and she took me on as a client, which was amazing. So from probably beginning of April, so this is my starting point, that's what I looked like after neglecting my diet and exercise for a very long time. But also, that's what fun looks like, I think. So we started from there, and for a couple of months we did a bit of a reverse diet. So she got me back into routine, I guess, got my calories up to a decent place, so that when it came to dieting, I didn't have to be on really low food to kind of shift the weight I wanted to shift. So we then started to probably diet for my shows, which I was doing in October, I would say June time. So I was in a really good place so far with Rosie. I was enjoying the food that I was having. It was nice being with a female coach because from the get-go I felt that the vibe I was getting from Rosie was that she would always put my health first. She would put my mentality first. If I was negging out, or I needed to, like, I don't know, if I was negging out and was starving and wanted to kill myself, she would give me food. We didn't get to that place thankfully, but I just felt like she would always put my mental state and my physical state before anything else, which I hadn't felt before from my previous coach in my previous show. So we started dieting in June, and it was great to see my kind of progress. And I swear to God, right, I felt like this was weird all the way throughout my prep. I was never hungry. Hunger was not a problem for me. Of course it got to a point I was on low food, but I was never hungry. I never had carb cravings. I never lost my period at all. It was literally on the clock, whatever. It was clockwork. It was like clockwork every month. I was never hungry. The worst thing for me through that prep was I was tired, but that's probably because I was getting up at 4:45 every morning and doing hours cardio before I had to drive an hour to work. Like, that would make anybody tired. So I was tired. Prep makes you very selfish. You're focusing on you and you don't really care about how that affects everybody else. You just know, I need to train today, I need to do my cardio, I need to eat my food, and then I'm going to bed and I'm going to do it all again tomorrow. You kind of lose sight of how that might impact other people, which at the time I probably didn't realise as much. So Stephen was an absolute saint and kind of was very patient with me, I would say. We jumped through hoops and my demands and would just kind of smile and nod when I was having a complete bitch fit. But yeah, so that was a really good prep. Like, I wasn't hungry at all, I was just tired. And I looked good. So October the 8th, I want to say, was my first show, which is now at England. I'm not gonna lie, I felt a bit like a rabbit stuck in headlights on stage. Obviously I'd been to posing with Mags, who's my posing coach. The posing was fine, it wasn't my concern. Like, I was happy with it. I don't think I kind of anticipated how long I could potentially be on stage and what that would look like. So yeah, we went to Naba England, which was in Birmingham, and I just, like, on stage I think I was moving too quickly. I wasn't holding my poses for long enough. My tan wasn't great, the lighting on the stage wasn't great, but I wasn't negged out, so I didn't place at all. And it was quite hard because people had put the expectation on me that because I looked good that I was going to place. Oh, you're definitely going to place, like, top 5, easy. Top 5, you're going to Nava Universe. And of course you're going to start thinking, oh my god, like, I could be going to Nava Universe. Awesome. So I was confident, but when I didn't place, I was hand in my heart, pinky promise, I was not gutted at all. Stephen will tell you, like, if I'm, like, gutted, it would be all over my face. I was happy because I had done everything at that point that I could do. I'd done my best, I didn't fuck up anything on stage. I think it just kind of made me realise that I had a lot more work to do on my posing, and I think I'd have realised that regardless, so if it hadn't been that show, it would have been another show. So I learnt a lot from that show, which was great. Here's some pictures. And yeah, it kind of just gave me a lot to work on until my next show, which was, when was my next show? Was it the week after? Yeah, my next show was the week after, which is the 15th, and it was a PCA show, and it was the JP Grand Prix. So again, like, went into that with no expectations. I tightened up a bit. Rosie changed my diet on the kind of the day before and the day of. I was really excited. I knew it was going to be a great show. I was absolutely buzzing to be doing a PCA show because I'd heard such good things about it. So yeah, did that show. And I will literally never forget when it came to, like, top 3, I think. Top 3, I remember thinking, oh, why, my number's not been called out yet. And I was like, I'm never going to place that. I was starting to think about my pizza, and I was like, I'm going to get pizza, I'm so excited. And then the second place got called out, and that's kind of when I realised that I'd won. And I genuinely didn't believe it. like, people will tell you I came off stage and I wasn't like, wow! I was just like, okay, like, that's good. And this is going to sound absolutely ridiculous, and I know it sounds ridiculous, and Stephen shouts at me all the time, but I felt like it was almost like it was like a red herring, in that like that wasn't meant to happen. Something's gone wrong. I feel like, not that I didn't deserve it, like, I just didn't realise, I guess, that I was first place, and I don't know, it's not that I didn't believe it, I just didn't think that they were right. I was like, you are wrong, like, why am I first? So it was like, I was ecstatic. So that got me a first place, it qualified me for the overall class, and it also got me my qualification for the British finals. So that was awesome. Didn't win overall, but that was cool, right? Long day, brilliant. Then I had a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks between that show and my final show, which was the Explosive Ape PCA show. Now I could have chosen not to do that because I had my qualification, but myself and my friend had like booked an apartment. It was our last show, we were going to go down with our partners and have like a real good weekend, so I was doing it regardless. And again, I was kind of like, the only kind of thought I went into that show was, oh, they're going to expect me to place, and that's going to be really shit when I don't, because, you know, they're wrong. But I was just more focusing on having a good day with like my friend Shannon, and just really enjoying that experience of being at a show, because the previous ones, yes, I had like Stephen there, and Stephen and his sister at the first one, but I had been with them like in the run up, like behind, getting ready, touching my tan up, like practicing each other's poses and stuff. So it was really good to have Shannon there. So again, went on stage, everything went fine. I remember them cutting my music off and being like pure awkward and being like, oh, okay, bye. But apart from that, like, everything was fine. I think that was probably the best I'd looked, some would say. So yeah, again, I kind of expected to place top 3, I would say, but I didn't expect to win. And when they announced me that I'd kind of placed first place again, I was just like, oh, well, that's good. And that one I got a wee bit emotional, because I was just like, oh, I'm so happy. So yeah, so that was really good. I placed first and got another qualification, and that was my final show. So that was like, I couldn't be more thankful for how I got on at those shows. I was really happy with everything that I brought. I'll put in so here's my before and after from when I started prep to here, where I like had my first show, like my last show, and then I'll put in when I first started at the gym versus my last show. So I've came quite far, I would say. So since then I stayed lean for a very long time. After there I was very conscious. I didn't rebound like I anticipated I would. I found it hard to actually let go. And then it kind of, as it close to got to Christmas and I started getting to kind of new habits of socialising, that became a lot easier. So now I'm currently probably, I'm at half, like two-thirds my way through my off season. Three-thirds would be a whole. And I'm uncomfortable, but I'm doing everything that I need to do to make the improvements for when I do the British finals in October. So I'm about like 10 weeks. So like 10 weeks until I start prep again, and I am so excited. So I'm going to start prep, and then I will be getting ready for my shows, which I think I'm going to do NABA England again, because that's like the one that got away. I want to do NABA England. I'd like to do the JP show again just because it was really good, and I'll do obviously the British finals. I want to find out, PC are now doing World Championships, and I want to know how you qualify for that, because that'd be amazing. So I'm actually really excited for these shows, because this is the first time I've actually had a kind of purposeful off season where I'm on a plan, I'm building muscle, I'm not going to Ibiza and just doing all that rad stuff and kind of doing it on my own. I've got somebody behind me who's kind of getting me to where I need to be, so that I'm making really strong improvements. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at, guys. I hope like that was interesting. Again, I do not profess to be like an expert at all. That's why I don't train people. I am trained by someone, because I'm very performance driven, in the sense of I'll just do what Rosie tells me to do, no questions asked, because I know it's going to get me the results that I need to get. So I should probably be more inquisitive as to, right, what does that mean, why am I doing that? But I'm not bothered, like, I trust her, she's my coach, so I just do it. So that's probably why I'm not in a position to ever coach anybody, because I have no clue. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at just now. I'm just training hard, getting ready to diet again, which I can't wait for. I'll diet again, and then we'll see how we get on this season. I'm really excited. But also I'm scared, because you never know who's gonna be up against you. Watching you. Anyway, so that's kind of my fitness journey. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll catch you next time. See you later. Bye.